Now we're going to kick straight off with the BBC's hit piece on the Light newspaper. So let's pop that up on screen. And well, this is what it says: the Light, inside the UK's conspiracy theory newspaper that shares violence and hate. That really is quite a damning statement on this newspaper and all the good work that it's done. But if we consider some of the comments that are made in this article, well, obviously it's conspiracy theorist, it's sharing violence and hate, and we've got Telegram that's also sharing right-wing extremism. Is it possible to just bring me back on camera, please? That's better, so I can see the audience, as it were. We've got a lot of effort to suggest to the audience that the Light newspaper is linked through to extremist groups in Germany. What else have we got? Well, King's College has got involved because they said, yes, this newspaper may well affect the views of people. And also we've got a statement by Matt Jukes, who's the head of the counter-terrorism unit. And he also says that conspiracy theories can well be linked to extremism. So, David, I'm going to pass this over to you because you've also had a read of this article. But we know a little bit about what the Light is up to. We've seen some really good additions. But according to Marianna Spring and the BBC, it's all about hate and extremism.
It was a remarkable piece of work because it didn't have any pretense at being reasonable. It was out and out state propaganda. It was, they're skeptical about climate change. Yeah, and this is bad. It was just, we must accept every talking point, every narrative that the state provides. That is the truth. You have a single source of truth. It's the state. The BBC is its mouthpiece. And then the attack was it was kind of innuendo. They tweeted something that we are calling far right. That makes them far right. They've talked to an organization in Germany. Ooh, Germany. It's all of this kind of dog whistle nastiness. It was very, very low grade. And what wasn't there was, this is what the Light newspaper believes. This is what they say. Here are major quotes. Here are the major campaigns. We think they're right on this. We think they're wrong on that. There was none of that, what you would tell journalism, going on. It was simply a hit piece. It was absolutely dreadful.
David, thank you for that. Well, I think we might have Darren Nesbitt, the editor, with us. We had a few problems there. Darren, can you hear me? I can see you, but I can't hear you, I'm afraid.
Oh, that's typical, isn't it?
Say that again.
Yeah, good.
Okay. What's your response to Marianna Spring's hit piece?
Well, yeah, David had it right. Look, I mean, there's two major things. One was they didn't cover any of the articles, any of the things that we talk about, any of the real world harms that governments, corporations and media are causing across the world to ordinary people. And the other thing is theoretical harm, associating the paper with somebody who might have once, said something angry somewhere and they once distributed a Light paper. It's really low quality journalism. And when they asked us for a quote in the last couple of days, I just said, you're not a journalist, you're simply a propagandist. We're happy to print any corrections, if we've got anything wrong, but after over 30 issues, not a single time have we had to say, oh yeah, this article's wrong, because obviously they're all sourced from official stats by very, very well qualified professional people. And this is clearly, the state trying to lash back at ordinary people, getting the truth out there and trying to help people's lives and help them avoid harm.
Okay. Well, I know that YouTube. I think it's on YouTube. You've got the full video of that interview with Marianna Spring, so people can actually see how it was conducted and what you said at the time, and then compare it with the article. But to me, certainly the article doesn't show any of the good, productive work that you've done. This is, as David Scott has just said, it's about innuendo. Darren, we're very short for time today, unfortunately, but do you think that you will entertain Marianna Spring again? Would you have her back to have further discussion?
Not really. I mean, you can see the full 3-hour interview with her. It's on Rumble, and it's called, if you put Marianna Spring in Conspiracyland in whatever searching. Will we have a back? Well, look, she accuses us of promoting violence when we never ever do, promoting hate when we never ever do. She asked me that question 10 or 12 times in the interview, and you can see the responses for yourself. To then produce this paper, I mean, it's possible it could be libelous. It depends whether advertisers start pulling out and it starts affecting our business, or it goes the other way. And people go, oh, there's a truth paper out there. Let's, we want to support it. We want to be part of that. A friend rang me, an hour after I think the BBC put that thing out this morning, and said, my boss has asked me not to bring the light paper in anymore. So it could well affect us. But like I say, one of the easiest ways of propaganda is to accuse the other side of what you're doing yourself. And she seems to forget that, the whole nation was harassed and bullied and mocked into following all these nonsensical measures, and still are. It's going to carry on with climate change as well. So, at the end of the day, everybody can look for the evidence for themselves, see the light paper, see what we actually write about, see the articles for themselves. Obviously, if you are, aware of what's going on, help us, get involved, come and write for us, and obviously help distribute the paper and tell people about it.
Okay, Darren, thank you very much for that. Well, you've put out a lot of material. I've certainly read some very good articles. I also believe that if you're publishing, you ought to be able to report what people are saying with appropriate commentary on it. But according to the BBC, you can only report what the BBC says you can.